I remember one of the first times I had an encounter with a person who was homeless, a woman on the streets. I was a student at Fuller Seminary, so I was training to be a pastor. And I lived in Orange County, and Fuller Seminary is in Pasadena. This is all in California. And I used to have to drive a couple hours in the morning to get to the class. I had an 8 o'clock class. I was actually studying Hebrew over the summer. And what I would do is I'd go to Pasadena, and I would always stop at a mini mart, and I would get myself a little breakfast snack. It was usually Hostess Crumbcakes and a thing of milk. And so I'd park the car, I'd go get my Hostess Crumbcakes, I'd walk to class, and the day would begin. So one day I bought my Hostess Crumbcakes at the mini mart, and I'd walked across the street, and at the church that is right on the corner near the school, there was a stereotypical looking homeless woman. Lots of layers of clothes. There was a shopping cart right next to her full of stuff. And she was just kind of sitting there looking at me. You know, and I saw her and I walked on by. I was going ready to study Hebrew, you know, study the Bible. And as I was walking by, I felt like God said to me, Tom, I want you to give her your breakfast. And I thought, what? No, I don't know her. I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to give her anything. So I kept walking. And I felt like God was saying, Tom, I want you to give her your breakfast. And then I finally said, no, I don't want to. I want my Hostess Crumbcakes, and I want my milk. And it was like God was saying, Tom, do this. And I kept arguing with God. And then as I walked around the corner, I felt like God said one more time, Tom, turn around and go give her your Hostess Crumbcakes. And finally I said, fine. You know, and I walked over to her, and I didn't even really say anything to her. I said, here, I want you to have this. And I gave her, you know, the crumb cakes and the milk, and I turned around and walked away. And as I turned around and walked away, I kept thinking, you know, I want what I have. And then as I turned the corner, I felt like God was saying, Tom, you have so much. And this woman is a child of mine who needs to know me. You need to share what you have. If you're going to be in ministry, you need to learn to see people and not just want what you have. And it totally convicted me. So I turned back around. I went to go meet her, maybe to meet her name, but she was gone. All that was left was the trash from my Hostess cupcakes and my milk. Ever since that time, I am convinced that God is calling us to see people. You know, whether there's a homeless person or there's someone who is hurting in your family or maybe at work, and God wants to open up these amazing opportunities for us to care for people. And we can do that as we practice and literally practice compassion. I love the verse in 1 John that says this, Dear children, let us not love in words and speech, but let us love in actions and truth. My hope is that this next week you will remain open to whatever God might bring into your life and practice the art of compassion so that others might see the love that God has for them through you. All right, have a great week. Thanks.